Hi everyone, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to share with you this DIY birthday card that I made with Clair stamps. This is a stamp set from their new release called Go There. Now I shared this card on the new release day, however I didn't get around to getting the video up, so I want to share that with you guys now so you don't miss out on how to make this card. I made this card with the digital stamp set. So what I did was I put the little cow down in the bottom section of my panel, and then I also added in the little wine glass in her hand. All you have to do is crop around that and kind of pull it over and just place it into the hand in your computer program. Then I added that happy birthday little lady sentiment on the top of my panel and printed it off. I print off with the laser printer, that way I know that I can go ahead and color this straight away if I want to. The laser printers work with alcohol markers. They also work with colored pencils and OMS. And if you can get watercolor paper to go through your printer, it will work with watercolors as well. That's why I tend to lean towards laser printing any of my digital stamps that I work with. I really don't even mess with inkjet printers, but if you have one, you might be able to make it work if you either heat set it first of all, or if you let it dry a long time. I'm not sure if it really will work or not at all. It's just something you would have to test. Now moving on, I'm going to go ahead and color this image in very quickly with my Prismacolor colored pencils, and I'm blending out with OMS. Now the thing with this cow image is it doesn't have a ton of color, but to give it that little bit of shading and kind of help it stand out from all that white cardstock around it, I'm going to add a little bit of light grays. These are the warm grays I'm using here, and I'm going very light with them, and then blending out even more so. I also added little bits of pink to the insides of the ears and the tongue as well, and also a little bit of pink on the cheeks. That's just going to help this very light image stand out from that white background. I added a little bit of a wine color to the beads on the necklace and also the wine glass itself. Then around the image, to help it pop out from that white cardstock, I'm going in with a very light shade of blue and going around the entire image, just going in small little circular motions. This is going to help create a little bit of a haze around the image, and again, just help pull it away from that white cardstock background. Once I have that completely colored with those light circular motions, I'll come in with a blending stump, making sure that it's completely free of color, and just blend out using some of that OMS. And there you have that very simple colored image. Even though those areas are supposed to be white, adding those little bits of color can really help it stand out. It also adds a little bit of shading as well. Now to finish this card off, I am using a brick stencil directly onto my card base. My card base is A2 in size, so 4¼ by 5½ inches, and I am using that brick stencil that I love so much from the Crafter's Workshop. I'm only adding color to the left-hand side of this card base, and I went ahead and masked off where that top line is, where that fold is in the card, with the piece of painter's tape. That's going to keep the back of my card completely free of any color. I'm using Fired Brick Distress Ink for this and my mini ink blending tool. Since I'm not really doing any blending, I just want some nice solid color on this. Now you can pounce if you want to, or you can blend in circular motions. Either one will work. And I'm just going over about halfway towards the right side of the card base itself because I don't need the entire thing filled up. When that's done, I can go ahead and remove the stencil and then pull that painter's tape straight back on itself, and I've got a nice clean back of my card base. Finally, I want this right side panel to stand away a little bit, have a little bit of separation from that ink blending. So one of my favorite things to do is just add a strip of cardstock. In this case, I'm using some black just to help separate where that stenciling is and where this panel starts. What I do is just add a strip of adhesive, dry adhesive really, and then just go ahead and line up that top panel on that strip. You can use whatever color you want. Then just use my scissors to go ahead and make sure it's nice and flush on both the top and the bottom, and I've got that nice separation strip. Finally, I'm going to pop this panel up with some foam adhesive onto the card base. adding that little bit of dimension is also going to help with the separation. It just adds a nice little shadow. I'll line this up with the right hand side of the card base and then just give it a good press down, and that completely finishes off the card. Now, like I said before, I did use the digital stamp image to make this card. However, Clair Stamp does offer both the digital and the physical stamp, and I use the exact same size that the physical stamp is, so you can get the exact same look with the stamp set as well. I will leave both linked down below so you can kind of pick your poison with that one. That is going to do it for me today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Happy crafting, everyone.